Hi guys, it's the Wandering Hermit here. Today I thought I would do a slightly different video because all my other videos have just been me talking at you. So today I thought I'd just give you a little tour of my bedside altar. You see my bed there? My altar's right here. So I'm always close to my energy. Now I've only recently set this up because I've rearranged the room. So it's slightly different. Everything had been at a right angle to what it is now. So my altar, when facing it, was pointing east. Now I've switched the room around, everything's facing north. So it's actually easier to orient to the cardinal points. So what I've got here, I've got my incense burning. A bit of patchouli. I love patchouli scent. Absolutely love it. Gives me the most vivid dreams. It's absolutely brilliant. And I have my wand here. It's the first wand I ever got, actually. I've got a couple of others for various purposes, but this being the first one I ever received. Made for me by a very talented wand maker down south. I will try to link his page in the description. But I've got my wand in the south there. I have in the east my athame, which was purchased for me by my wife as a present. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at the shine in the handle there, and then you'll see it's Damascus pattern weld as well, which is just brilliant. I use that for cutting herbs and such things. So that's there in the east. In the west, I have this chalice, which I actually found in a charity shop a long time ago. It's a little bit chipped there, but that's just from being on the altar for too long. You'll see the letters IHS, which stands for In Hoc Signo, which means in this sign. It was originally used by the Knights Templar. I thought that was appropriate with, given suspected Templar heritage that we got in the family, so kept that on there. Here's my offering bowl, which started out as a Tibetan singing bowl, but then something happened which caused a small crack in the rim, and it doesn't actually ring properly anymore, so I've decided to use it as a bronze offering bowl. Now, in the centre, I have my Book of Shadows, my grimoire, which is inlaid with this beautiful tiger's eye for protection. My wife actually purchased this for me about 10 or 11 years ago from an international market in Liverpool around Christmas time. And I didn't use it for ages because I didn't know what to put in it. It's proper leather bound and handmade paper as well. I don't know if you can see that in there. Really nice soft handmade paper. It's my favourite book. I would show you the contents of it, but that would require moving all this stuff, so I'll do that another time. Now, on top of the book, around the tiger's eye, I have my 4 primary stones that I work with, corresponding to each of the cardinal directions. So in the north I have some snowflake obsidian. In the east I have a beautiful amethyst tumblestone. In the south I have my bloodstone, which originally came from one of my other wands, but the stone decided it didn't want to stay there and it fell off. So I've replaced it with another stone which seemed to be calling to be used for that particular wand. And in the west here I have some lodestone. I don't know, I put lodestone in the west because it really seems to ground my emotions, and that's kind of what I need at the moment, a bit of emotional stability, so I put my lodestone in the west there. Normally I would have the snowflake obsidian and the lodestone the other way around, but I thought given what I'm using the lodestone for, it was fitting in the west. So also on my altar I have some major arcana cards from the Night Sun Tarot, which I've been starting to use. I've had the deck for quite a while, but I couldn't really connect to it at first. I don't know whether it's just I wasn't ready for it at the time, but recently it's really been calling to me to start working with it. So on my left hand side I have the Empress, representing the the female power, the manifestation, motherhood, but also feminine strength, intelligence, wit, those sort of things. And on the right hand side I have the Emperor, representing the divine masculine. You've got the horns of Aries there, you've got the eagle for Zeus, you've got the red garb of Mars, crown of thorns, solar glyph in the back. Yeah, it's a nice deck. There's very, very heavy with the symbolism. You see there with the broken egg and everything, the hatched egg. The cage at her feet used to hold a heart, but the heart is now free. So I really like these cards for the symbolism. That's why I've put those on the altar. And what else do we have here? Ah, yes, my runes. These are rune stones rather than wood chips of runes. I mean, you can see stones here. These are the 2 runes that I've been primarily drawn to. I actually wrote these in the back of my grimoire when I first got it, because I saw them in vision. So when I was flicking through and I saw these runes, I thought, I have to put those on the altar. So we've got Algus, the symbol of life, representative of Odin, and Yggdrasil and his sacrifice on the world tree. And we have Tyr, or Tewaz, which is the symbol of the god Tyr. That represents ascension, connection to the gods, etc, etc. So a combination of those 2 runes to me just represents the unity of earth and sky, of the lower self and higher self, and the connection to the divine through the physical. So they're quite important runes to me. But yeah, I use these stones for casting occasionally, but more I use them for symbolism on altars. I use a lot of the the runes from this set on Sabbath altars and such things. You may have seen in previous pictures. And I have my red candles, devotion to Mars, which is one of my patron planets, governing planetary bodies. And that one seems to have gone out. Interesting. The balance between light and dark. I might keep it that way. Also red for manifestation, just like the cloth here as well, which is actually really nice, soft, fleecy cloth. I really like it. But yeah, because I try to do a lot of manifestation work and direction of will and such things, red really helps me with that. You'll see here I have the Poetic Edit, which is the one you could say, whether you want to call it a holy script or not, but it's the one text at the moment that is really guiding me on my path with self-reliance and manifestation of will and such things. It's really, really, really helping me understand myself. I just love the artwork on it as well. So I've put that on the altar there. Now the deities that I have above my altar here, starting from the top, I have Mother Isis. Now I don't do a lot of work in the Egyptian pantheon, but Isis is one goddess that I really do connect to. One of my soul correspondence's soul guides, you could say, being Horus or Ra. He does appear in both aspects, but Isis being the mother of Horus, I see her as the ultimate mother figure. Then I have the warrior aspect of the mother in Freya, embodying the physical strength and outward confidence and everything else. And then I have Odin, my patron god, who is my primary guide. He always appears to me in my mindscape, my visions and such things, and gives me lessons. Kanunos, the horned god. I absolutely love Kanunos, governing the cycles of life and death and nature and the seasons and the animal nature, really. I've been really connecting to the the dark aspects of nature lately, so Kanunos has really helped me in that pursuit. I just love this image. I mean, Jimmy Mountain's artwork is absolutely fantastic. These images, by the way, except for this one, are from the Goddesses and Sirens and the Gods and Titans decks by Stacey DeMarco, with the artwork by Jimmy Mountain, as is this, but this particular card is from the Isis Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. Now down here we have Rhiannon from the Celtic Pantheon. She really is good for self-trust, self-reliance, staying true to your power, your truth in the face of adversity. I really like her story, having to carry the horse as her punishment and everything else. It's, you know, bearing the weight of the world and such things. And on the other side I have Lu, the Celtic sun god. I've been connecting a lot to Lu lately. He's been talking to me quite a bit. His name's cropping up in a lot of things that I've been reading. So these are the deities on my altar. Now finally, up here we have my staff, which I use for ritual. See there's an antler on the top here. Over the top I have the cross on there. Now, don't be confused. Although I do recognise that Christianity does bear some wisdom, a lot of it is taken from the pagan traditions. So I'm not really a Christian necessarily, but the cross to me represents the 4 quarters of the world. And a dot at the centre, I see that as me, at the centre of my physical universe. I've mentioned this in a previous video, and I think I've written an article on it as well, self-centrist symbolism in Christianity. And down here we have the symbol of Samael, which is one of the Jewish deities, one of the primordial angel types. But Samael has many correspondences to Aries and to the planet Mars. He has connections to Lu and to Odin. Also to Thor as well. He's quite a complex character, really. A lot of people confuse him with the devil, but you know, that's just the Jewish tradition for you. Now down the side here, this is what I really like about this little table I've got for my altar. It's very, very simple, but at the side here I have a little shelf where I keep my books and such things. Now here I have the Night Sun Tarot. You can see the box is a bit battered because I've had it for quite a while, but that's the front of the box. That's the chariot there. Really good depiction of the chariot. In fact, a lot of the images in this I really like. There's the hermit, the magician, and death, who's depicted as female, which I found really interesting. But no, some really, really good cards in that deck. If you are interested in dark tarot decks, that's one I would recommend. I'll do a full review on these in another video. Goddesses and Sirens, Gods and Titans, Isis Oracle. My primary ones I've been working with, and obviously images on my altar. I have other decks that I've been using, but they're out at the moment because they're working decks. I've got art materials and such things in here for writing and drawing. I have a little book on Tao, which I was gifted from a friend. It was actually gifted to my mother many, many years ago by a friend of hers, and then it went missing and it was found again, passed on to me. So, and here we have a couple of other books, which I shall endeavour to get out for you. We have another Book of Shadows. However, this isn't my personal Book of Shadows. This is a grimoire which I have started very recently. I've literally only done like the title page and like introduction, but I'll go with the Tree of Life on there. It's again leather, handmade paper, really, really nice. But this is one that I'm going to try to make artistic and decorative and fill with as much knowledge, ordered knowledge as possible, and pass that on to my next generation. My wife and I have endeavoured to do that. I also have here, forgive the bare wood, we've been redecorating. I have my dragon notebook, which is quite interesting. The covers are actually what's it called? Resin, but made to look like slate or stone. I just love this artwork. It's brilliant. And the dragon on the front, I mean, you can see it's all 3D there. It's really, really nice. But I use that for meditations in which dragons appear. And I write down any dragon symbolism, because dragon's one of my spirit animals, my spirit guides. I work a lot with dragon energy. And finally, the Book of the Five Rings by Miyamoto Musashi. This is one of the first books I was ever gifted by a family member. And it really changed the way I thought about myself, and you can see it's full colour, absolutely beautiful artwork all the way through. You see it's just a really, really nice book. Beautiful edition, shiny green, goldy green. So these are the books that are primarily most important to me, that I've been using quite a lot. I'll put those away properly in a moment. But anyway, I do plan to add a couple of other little bits to my altar in the very near future. So I may update you and show you how my altar has changed in that time. But until then, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I bid you a good day or night wherever you are in the world, and may your gods be with you. Bye.